a chat even from the day of the murder. On the day she was killed by Aftab, Republic has been able to access a chat from that very day. I want to cut across to Niranjan, who has more details on the same. Niranjan, also give us a sense of what this chat indicates. Was there tension that she was sensing? Was she sharing this with her friends? Was she completely unaware that it could end in something like this? All was well at that time, but then probably things took a very turn. I beg your pardon. Niranjan, over to you. What was the last chat?
Well, this is the last on the day of the murder. I don't think it gets bigger than this. This is Shraddha on the 18th of May. On the 18th of May, the day she was killed, she texted her friend saying, "I've got news." She said, "I've got news." What was the news? And she says, look at the timing here, 4:34 p.m. 4:34 p.m. the day she was killed, she sends a text. And she said, "I'm busy with something." She said at 4:34 on the day she was murdered, she said, "I've got news." She said, "Dude, I've got news. I got super busy with something." What is the news that she had? And what was she super busy with? What was the news that she had on the day of the murder that she wanted to share? She wanted to share something with her friend. And in fact, by 6:29, she went silent. 6:29, the friend responds saying, "What's the news?" And she went silent. Look at this. Friend said, timing is here, 6:29 p.m. on the 18th of May, the day she was murdered. Friend asked, "What's the news?" And there was no response from her. This is very explosive. Suesha raises questions because what happened between 4:34 and 6:29? What happened between 4:34 and 6:29? At 4:34, she sends a message saying she's got news and she wanted to share something with her friend. We are not naming the friend because the friend does not want to go on record, but the friend was told by Shraddha that she's got news and she wants to share the news. Look at that, the chat is on your screen. She said, "Dude, I've got news, I got super busy with something." On the 18th of May at 4:34 p.m. at 6:29 p.m. 6:29 p.m. there is no response. Friend asks, "What's the news?" There's absolutely no response. So what happened between 4:34 and 6:29? In those 2 hours, something has happened. In those 2 hours, something has happened. And there's a follow-up to that text on this in September. In September, there is a second chat. And in that chat, the friend asks, "Where the hell are you?" And she never responded. So this tells you that something was going on the day of the murder. She wanted to share something. And this is very, very disturbing. I think perhaps for the first time, there are details coming in. And she wanted to share something. What was the news? I think the question is, what was the news that she wanted to share?
आफ्ताब ने ऐसा कुछ हुआ?
आफ्ताब ने कुछ ऐसा बताया कि जिससे जो है केस के
देखिए अभी तो बात करने को पुलिस नहीं तैयार है, लेकिन हाँ, दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम अगेन एंड अगेन सेइंग कि ये जो पुलिस अधिकारी हैं, जो ऑफिसर्स हैं, जो टीम है इन्वेस्टिगेशन की, वो अब यहाँ से निकली है. वो अब निकल के यहाँ से वापस पुलिस स्टेशन जाते हैं या क्या कुछ रहता है वो अभी देखना होगा. कुछ फाइलें ज़रूर देखने को मिली, कुछ फाइलें ज़रूर इस पुलिस ऑफिसर्स की टीम के हाथ में थी. हालांकि ये कहना अभी जल्दबाजी होगी जब तक ये ऑफिशियल नहीं होता कि ये मूवमेंट क्यों था, क्या कुछ नया आफ्ताब ने बताया है. क्योंकि दिन भर देखिए पूछताछ चली है और कल वो दिन है जब प्रोड्यूस करा जाएगा आफ्ताब को कोर्ट के अंदर. और उससे पहले देखिए आप शाम के 5 बज चुके हैं. इस समय ये मूवमेंट जो है वो बढ़ती नज़र आ रही है. पुलिस ऑफिसर्स की जो टीम है अब ये आफ्ताब के घर से निकल गई है. मैंने आपको बताया कि करीबन आधे घंटे तक जो ये पुलिस ऑफिसर्स हैं ये यहाँ मौजूद थे, लगातार तस्वीरों में अपने दर्शकों को हम दिखा रहे हैं। पुलिस की जो टीम है वो अब निकली है आफ्ताब के घर से। कैमरा पर्सन परवेज के साथ रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क के लिए अनुज।
All right, Niranjan, I'm trying to come back to you because our reporters are on the ground trying to track every single angle. Anuj there was trying to get the cops to talk on how is the investigation moving forward and what more has Aftab revealed. But this is the focal point right now, Niranjan, of what Republic has been able to access. Chats on the murder day, but most importantly, Shraddha having written that she has news and she was super busy. And her friend did ask her what's the news, but she was gone by then. And obviously the friends were not aware that she's gone, and they asked her, where the hell are you? Are you safe? But obviously no answers. Nobody could have imagined that it ended like this. But what was the news that she wanted to share? What was her state of mind? What had happened with Aftab? Was she with Aftab at the point she had messaged her friend this? Niranjan?
Well, absolutely. And I think the chats raised questions. At 4:34 p.m. that evening, what was on her mind? What was the news that she wanted to share? What is the news that she wanted to share? And what was she super busy doing? She wanted to say something on the day of her murder. What did she want to say? And why did she reach out? Look at the details of it. I think this is for the first time details are coming out that she wanted to say something. She wanted to speak out. She wanted to say something on the day of her murder. And she reached out to her friend. She said, dude, I've got news. I got super busy with something. This is at 4:34. 2 hours later, she goes completely silent. On the 18th of May 2022, on the same day at 6:29, the friend responds saying, what's the news? There is no response whatsoever. Let's go back to the chats. Let's move on. Let's move on and let's show you the other chats as well. Because in September, this chat continues because he does not get a response on the 18th of May 6:29. There is no response. And then the friend follows up in September, asking, where are you? Where the hell are you? Are you safe? There is no response that came in. And that chat has also been accessed by Republic TV. So the murder day chat and the corresponding chat after that. Look at this. If I can, once again, this is the second chat, the follow-up chat, if I can show you. If my video journalist can zoom into this. Look at this. The friend asks on the 24th of September, just zoom into this. Take a look at this, zoom into this. On the 24th of September, because there is no news on the 18th of May. 18th of May, there is no news. 18th of May, there is no news. September 24th, he asks again, where the hell are you? Are you safe? Because by then, they had raised an alarm about her whereabouts. 18th of May says, what's the news? Asks, what's the news? September 24th says, where the hell are you? Are you safe? There's no response after that. And that's where the story stands. These are explosive chats. I think for the first time, an angle of the news that she wanted to share. There's something that she wanted to share. And for the first time in this case, that aspect is coming out. What did Shraddha want to share with her friends? Why did she reach out to her friend on that day to share news, and hours before she was perhaps murdered? 4:30 is when the chat goes out. 4:30 she texts. 6:20 there's no response. And in September the friend asks, are you okay? Where the hell are you? There's no response. So between 4:20 and 6:30 on the day of murder on the 18th of May, what happened? I think these are some relevant questions, valid questions. Let's put the chat full frame on screen once again as a graphic. Look at that. Republic TV accessing that explosive chat once again, leading this coverage on the Shraddha murder case to bring you the aspects uncovered, not covered rather so far. For the first time, there are details emerging of what happened on the same day of the murder. She said she wanted to share something. She said she had news. She said she was super busy with something. So what was the news that she wanted to share? Was there more? What was the news that she wanted to share with her friends, that she reached out to her friends in Mumbai? These are some relevant, valid questions that come to our mind as this explosive chat comes to the fore. That's not all. In fact, some of the friends also reached out to this psycho killer, Aftab. Look at that. On Instagram on the 15th of September, he says, bro, and he says, where have you been? And the friend speaks to Aftab. He says, need to talk to you. He then also talks about, he says, tell Shraddha to call me. There's obviously no response, because in September everyone is panicked. September, that panic button is pressed. Everyone's checking on her because she hasn't responded. And by that time, the murder had been committed. The sheer brutality of it. Look at this, on the day of the murder. On the day of the murder, she had reached out to her friends saying she wanted to share some news with them. What was this news? What state of mind was she in? She says, I was super busy with something. Was she excited? Because her tone here seems like maybe she wanted to share something with her friends. She says, dude, I've got news. I got super busy with something. She wanted to say something to her friends. She wanted to discuss with her friends. She was eager to share the details with her friend. Let me go back to the chat. Let's go back to the graphic of the chat and stay on it. On this day of the murder, she wanted to share something. Did Aftab know that she wanted to share something? Did Aftab kill her because she was going to share something? I don't know. It's just a question that comes to our mind. These are some relevant questions that come to our mind. Did Aftab know that Shraddha was trying to share something with her friends? Was the murder linked to the news that she wanted to share with her friends? Did Aftab harm or kill Shraddha because she wanted to share something with her friends? Some relevant questions that come to our mind at this point. Why did she not respond? Or what happened in those 2 hours? And did Aftab know about these chats? Did Aftab have anything to do with these chats? That's a breaking news update. For the first time, this aspect is emerging in the case. The friend asked her 2 months later, where the hell are you and are you safe? And when there was no response in September, more friends wrote to Aftab asking where Shraddha was. They asked him to let Shraddha know that she needs to get in touch with them. So that's the breaking aspect. And I'm handing it back to you for now. This is the biggest story. I think more and more explosive details coming in.
Yes, absolutely. And the investigation taking a new twist, a new turn with every hour, literally, Niranjan, as more and more details emerge. We hear more of our friends put out information about their relationship, but most importantly, the fact that she did fear for her life. She was in a torturous relationship. She was in an abusive relationship. And she had confided in her friends many a times on Aftab's behavior, on how he would raise his hand, abuse her, stop cigarette butts on her. And it was absolutely a relationship that she many a times also wanted to get out of. But then he would emotionally blackmail her and would bring her back in. A